아, 이제 되는구나. 저게 중첩돼 있었구나.
자하, BJ 자민님 어서오세요.
중첩돼 있었어.
A map of London and its surroundings. Could be useful. Brave Toby, the best nose in the British Empire.
이게 키를 좀 봐야겠다. 움직이기, 달리기, 숫자 배기, 능력 있구나. F는 상성력, 추리 공간, 인물 전환. 집으로 하셨네.
자하, 비노토리님 어서오세요.
어서오세요.
These streets are too narrow for the cab. I'll have to walk. North Street. I don't feel thirsty right now. Dorset Street.
도시가 12분. 나가는 문이고. 이호.
"'Tis our home, Mr. Holmes.
어,
I hope you'll find my father soon."
Food's running low. It's already 3 weeks since George Hurst's disappearance.
식량이 없어지고 있어.
Well, I can see the preparations for peasant soup, a clever concoction for somebody with apparently no culinary skills.
간단하게 할 수 있는 거구나.
"My mother, sir. She died when I was very young. My father told me what she was like. but that's all I have.
I'm sorry, Tom. My mother left me when I was very young, too. Hurst covered his bills ahead of time, thus providing Tom with security and sustenance.
돈을 미리 값이 좋구나. 이렇게 될 줄 알고 있어요.
The roof leaks all the time. Father used to fix it.
George Hurst's work was varied. He was evidently a hard-working and valuable hand.
성실한,
Old clothes, soiled and worn.
성실하고 일을 잘했을 사람.
It's too dark. I can't see anything. So that's why you came to see me.
뭐라
So that's why. A leather satchel, what's in it?
안녕하신가 조지. 자네가 일자리 참여를 고생한 거야. 게다가 아들 대위도 먹히고 입혀야지. 걱정이 많다는 것뿐만 안 했어요. 그래서 술집 중단지를 동봉하네. 어떤 특수한 일거리를 맞춰줄 사람, 찾는 사람이 있다는 거. 어쩌면 자네에게 좋은 일이 될지 모르지. 그러길 바라네. 나머지 이제 다 받고 거리 한번 나가볼까?
Please, sir, find my father.
알았다. 이쪽에 나가는 거지. 술집이라는 아까 목마르다는 그쪽.
Dorset Street. I don't feel thirsty right now.
이건 그거잖아. 아, 잘못 왔다.
Dorset Street.
술집이라고.
Just leave the post on the doorstep.
Whitechapel High Street.
Whitechapel never changes. Dirt and beggars everywhere.
Whitechapel High Street. Whitechapel High Street. New Street. New Street.
Pumpkin! Cabbage! Cheap!
그쪽 관리는 나가는 사람이라 이게 집 근처에서 관리인을 만나서 인물에 대해서 파악을 해야 될 것 같아. 근처에 어딘가 주인집이 있을 거라고. 설마 여긴가? 그건 안 가봤네. 여기가 그것이 주위 사람들한테 도망가는
Dorset Street. There's nobody at home.
I'm not expecting anyone.
I don't open the door to strangers.
I don't feel thirsty right now. There's nobody at home.
sorry, I'm working. I can't open the door.
사람들은 로고 다 있잖아. 특정한 포인트가 발견되면 여기에 포착이 가능해.
Just leave the post on the doorstep.
방 안에 뭔가 다른 게 있는 건가? 방금 뭔가를 다 못 찾고 있다. 아닌데 그건 다 봤는데.
Old clothes, soiled and worn. Old clothes, soiled and worn. Old clothes, soiled and worn.
아, 역시 이런 게 있었구나. 종이가 낡은 건가?
The Old Tabard Pub, North Street. The Old Tabard Pub, North Street.
로스가 다시 한번 볼까? 여기를 뜻하는 거지? 그렇다면
The Old Tabard Pub, North Street.
로스가에서 로스가 나가 지나잖아. 이번엔 문 열어주겠구만. 여기잖아.
I don't feel thirsty right now.
저 여기 사람들이
I'm not expecting anyone.
There's nobody at home. Dorset Street.
I don't open the door to strangers.
I don't feel thirsty right now. There's nobody at home.
저 방문 열리는 것도 나 못 본 단어 뭔가 또 있다는 건가? 저기 거기서 나왔는데 뒤쪽에
Glue. Probably taken from a wall.
뭐야 가져왔잖아. 아 분리가 되는 거. 아까 그 수지고 가는 거야.
Good day, Mr. Holmes.
Well, if it isn't young Wiggins. And I see you found yourself a job.
If you can call it that. I hate it. But if you've got any proper work for me...
I just might be in need of your assistance later. Wait here.
저기 셜록 홈즈 아니다.
I need to earwig to find out who is offering this special job.
Equality for the working class.
I'm glad I'm my own boss. I can complain only to myself. Or to Watson.
할아버지랑
The man who's offering that special job has a proper set of mutton chop whiskers.
There's no one to eavesdrop on.
We multiply.
There's no one to eavesdrop on. From
Short of the strike.
There's no one to eavesdrop on from here.
No. That fellow who's offering the special jobs, he never drinks alcohol.
이불되지 않네.
So, the man I'm looking for has whiskers and never drinks alcohol.
수염이 있고 술이 전혀 먹지 않네.
Bosses beware. When we're screwed, we multiply.
This must be the man that I'm looking for. Interesting. A missing person. I should find out more.
You see that gentleman? I need you to follow him and report back to me.
All right, Mr. Holmes.
이런 거 시간이 이게 어디가 없지?
Dirt and beggars everywhere.
I don't know, God, was just fuck everybody. I don't take a part of it.
Pumpkin, cabbage, cheap.
They won't let me pass. I'll need to find another way.
Rich folk feed meat to their dogs.
Living costs are too much these days.
What are you waiting for? Take a brush and get in there.
Ah, boys from the Bruisers gang. Better keep out of their way.
Stop crying and get to work.
I'll be able to continue the chase if I climb up the chimney, but it's dangerous. I'll be able to continue the
Take a brush
chase if I
and get
climb
in
up the
there.
chimney.
Go on then.
He's still here, that's a relief. Whoa. Whoa.
What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning?
No place to hide here. We'd better go through the yard.
Oi, what are you doing in my garden?
Here's Shoeshine Jim from Chambers Street. He's mute because his drunk stepfather beat him. Hey Jim, can you lend me your kit? I'm on a secret mission for Mr. Holmes. It's dirty. Hurry up! This could be... Did you...
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. There's talking with a cabby. I need to get closer. Damn! I need to find another one.
At last, the weather's good. Last week was freezing.
I'm betting it doesn't get cold again. Oh no, no.
I can't lose him now. Ah, I've lost him. I can't lose him now.
아, 갈려서 타는 거였구나.
Interesting. What's going on in the yard? Do only 2 people live here? I wish one was me. Bags of food. I like this house. I can't see what's inside. I can't see what's inside. I can't see what's inside. Wow, a lot of expensive stuff. Wow, a lot of expensive stuff. It's too dangerous to enter.
인정. 여기 왠지 뭔가 더 있을 것 같은데.
Ah, a coat of arms. It might help Mr. Holmes. I'll make a drawing of it. Time to report to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside before I get caught.
오. 닌자 터트님 어서 오세요. 와우.
Wigan's tale was quite unusual. What do you make of what he found, Holmes?
Wiggins did a good job.
와, 그림 잘 그렸다.
Holmes, we need to help poor Tom.
알았네, 알았어.
My analysis table. It's useful for my...
위긴스가 가져온 거. 서재를
That's not the one I need. That's not the one I need. That's not the one I need.
이거만 보고 내가 어떻게 알아? 다른 쪽 뭐 없나?
Watson documents our adventures in here. My archive. I can always consult with it if needed. My archive. I can always consult. My archive.
바로 그냥 문장을 봐야 되는 거밖에 없나?
That's not the one I need. That's not the one I need.
쉬운 게 있을 것 같다.
That's not the one I need. 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 That's not the.
뭘 보고 해야 되는 거지?
That's not the one I need.
서재 확인하기인데 싸러 가야 되나?
That's not the one I need. That's not the one. That's not. That.
써봐.
That. That's not.
어떻게 해야 되나?
That.
아무런 이거 보면 식물 쪽인 것 같긴 한데 예술가 건축인가? 식물의 종류가 있다는데
That's.
처음 본 사람 같아요. 아 옆에 하나 더 있다. 보고 있어.
That's. That. 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 That's. That.
이거구나. 자선가로 알려진 에드워드 마시경. 하이트 셰프의 유명하다는 신화가 따뜻한 업체가 제공하는 일을 하고 있다. 교육의 길을 제공한 특별 교육 프로그램의 공동 설립자로서 명성 또한 없다.
Here it is. So this man could be Lord Marsh. Huh. A lord who hangs around in a public house. Let's pay a visit to Lord Marsh. We'll pretend that we're interested in his charitable activities.
Mr. Holmes, you have a visitor.
Oh, just ask him to wait.
I'm afraid that won't be possible. This young lady refuses to wait for anything.
What?
Father!
Caitlin!
Miss Caitlin's boarding school was flooded. Everyone was sent home.
As if it could smell any mustier.
My word, how is it possible that you have grown up so fast?
You'll be staying. Wherever will we put you?
Holmes, I'll give her my room, of course.
What do you have to say, Kate?
You're on a new case. A respectable lady who's being blackmailed? Or is it a love story between a prince and a suffragist?
However did you guess?
You will tell me, won't you, Father?
But you'll make Watson jealous.
All right, then. Have fun. I'll go and unpack. Will you help me, Mrs. Hudson?
마시경이 방문하라.
It's wonderful to have Kate home.
Go, go, Mr. Holmes. I'll take care of everything.
뭔가 살짝 배가 고픈데.
Holmes, about Caitlin.
Yes?
She has grown up, hasn't she? Don't you think it's time to tell her?
To tell her what, Watson?
Well, about her father.
Never. Absolutely never. Do you hear me?
Holmes, you were responsible for the death of her father. You owe her the truth. She is old enough now.
I would lose her. Can't you see that? She must never know, Watson. Is that clear?
Holmes.
It won't and can't happen.
Come in, please. Good day, gentlemen. Welcome to my home. How may I help you?
Good day to you, Lord Marsh. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson.
이게 눈 충혈됐는데? 수면 부족일 것 같고. 얘는 병증. 부정확하다고?
I hope we're not disturbing you. You are with your physician?
Yes, this is Dr. Reuben Fisher. But no, please, I'm intrigued by your visit, Mr. Holmes.
I'm glad to hear it. The last thing I'd wish is to upset the patient. Lord Marsh, can I just say that I admire all of your efforts in assisting the poor of London?
Yes. It is a war that we must fight, on our streets and now too from my home. You must surely have noticed those bags full of items, clothing and books for the unfortunate.
That is inspirational. At my own humble level, I too try my best to support those in need. I thought perhaps that I could be of some assistance.
I don't see why not. I already have the valuable assistance of Dr. Fisher, who happens to be my personal physician.
Forgive me, Lord Marsh. You're looking very pale. Might I offer Dr. Watson's assistance?
That is kind of you, but I feel confident that I can provide Lord Marsh with the care that he requires.
How long have you been like this, my lord?
I'm fine, Dr. Watson. Don't fuss. It's only influenza. I'll be better in a few days. I can feel it already.
In that case, why are you taking such powerful painkillers?
Excuse me, what do you mean?
Mr. Holmes is referring to the pills on your table.
I'm sorry, but that's a medical confidentiality.
It's curious. Your face seems familiar to me, Doctor. Oddly, I'm associating it with Whitechapel?
Well done. You are right. I do occasionally frequent a few hostelries over there, would you believe it? Not that I am a drinker. But there, dressed as a working man, I can approach the other fellows to see if they might be interested in a special job.
A special job? May I ask what you're referring to?
Certainly. Since Lord Marsh began his special education program in 1889, he foresaw that such people would need an occupation of some kind. And so, with or without education, we propose these opportunities to work with Lord Marsh. It offers the less fortunate a chance to help make London a better place.
That's remarkable.
Yes, indeed. In order to truly see, one requires vision, yes, but also insight, and Lord Marsh has believed this since he was a child.
Oh, Dr. Fisher makes it all sound so romantic. Let's close this topic.
Lord Marsh believes that he can help all these poor people.
Despite my title, yes, I have to share my home with these bags full of food for the poor.
I'm intrigued by the special education program.
Lord Marsh, hunting with his friends.
Ah, my dear comrades, Lord Collins and Lord Harrington. If it wasn't for this godforsaken English malady, I'd be with those rapscallions right now.
All in due time, my lord.
경들하고 친하구나.
Last year, 3 orphans were put through medical college.
Wow.
Thanks to Lord Marsh and the special education program, a great many poor people will have a second chance in life.
뭔가 여기 더 있을 것 같은데.
I've never heard of this man. I've never heard of this man. I've never heard of this man. John Strobridge. I've seen this name before. It was on a missing persons poster. I can't quite work it out. Do you have any idea as to the number of people who might owe you their lives?
Oh, don't embarrass me, Mr. Holmes. But indeed, these people have become like a family to me.
That would be a fairly large family, I imagine.
Yes, the list would be longer than any of your short stories. As for how large, well, Fisher is the one who keeps record.
Might we take a glance at the list?
I regret that is impossible. It is confidential. I stand firm upon that point, Mr. Holmes.
I quite understand. We'll most certainly send a donation towards your educational program. I shall take my leave then. I thank you both, and I wish you all the very best, gentlemen.
Likewise, Mr. Holmes.
A provision dealing with the paupers of Whitechapel. Lord Marsh even helps hospitals.
병원에도 후원. 후원 하나 기가 막히게 하네.
I've never seen so many provisions for the poor, and certainly not in a lord's house. Humanitarian aid for an orphanage.
고아원도 챙기고.
Aid for the paupers of Lambeth Workhouse. It's extremely honourable to devote one's whole life to assisting the poor. Locked.
잠겨 있어. 그러니까
It's closed. Bags full of food.
집으로 가서 여기서 좀 찾아봐야 되겠다.
North Street.
Sorry, I'm working. I can't open the door.
Bosses beware. Terrorists will multiply.
Mr. Holmes, do you have any news about my father?
Tom, not so fast. I wanted to ask you if you remember your father mentioning anything about a special education program.
An education program? No, he only talked about a special job.
What's this box, Tom?
Oh yeah, I just found it, Mr. Holmes. It was ever so well hidden. I've no idea why.
Well done, my boy. It could prove very helpful. A ramrod to clean a rifle. This oil can also be used on weapons. Wolfjack. Looks like a military badge. Tom, does your father own a rifle?
A rifle? No. If he had, he would have shown it me.
I'm sure that he wouldn't have shown it you. I need to find this rifle. A collection of worn-out and second-hand books. George Hurst was providing his son with the best education that he could afford.
Father bought all those books for me. He didn't tell me, but I know that he pawned his coat for them.
This scrap of cloth was used to oil a firearm.
그러면
Tom, does your father have any other property?
No. At least I don't think so.
I have to take Toby. He'll take a sniff of the oil, and we'll find that rifle.
내 아버지가 수청 그럼 사냥꾼이나 군인이 될 거야. 집에 가서 강아지를 데리고 와야겠다. 아버지가 숨길 만한 이유가 있었을까? 총을 보이기 싫었겠지.
Come on, Toby. It's time for you to earn your keep. Watson?
I prefer to visit Lord Marsh. I'm worried about the condition of his health. I prefer to visit Lord Marsh. I'm worried about the condition of his health.
기름 냄새를 맡게 해서 총 찾는다. 근데 기름 냄새가 안에 가득 퍼졌으면 걔도 그걸 찾기가 힘들지 않을까?
Search, Toby. Search. It's only a garden shed. Let's go on. People use this cellar for storage. Nothing that could interest me. Pile of rubbish. Just some old things. It's not here. Ordinary storage. Tom's photograph. Let's try to get inside.
맨 끝에 방이네.
News clippings on Lords in the education program. Why are they here?
편지를 적고 간 거야?
Let's compare this list with the evidence that we found earlier. This is the list of selected participants for October's special education program. According to this poster, John Strobridge is missing. Let's compare them with people from Hearst documents.
예스로 친해져 있는 때는
This man appears in both documents.
예스로 친해져 있는 때는
All the people in Marsh's document are marked and dated in George Hearst's files.
이게 그룹별로 죽이는 건가?
There was something on the... This case must have been full of cartridges.
군대를 보낸 건가?
A map of Epping Forest. Old things. Just rubbish.
뭔가 다른 게 있을 것 같은데. 그냥 끝인가? 이게
There was something on the stand. There was a rifle here. George Hurst took it with him.
조지가 가져갔어. 군인 배치.
Brave Toby, the best nose in the British Empire.
뭐가 있나? 얘가 안 따라오는 거야. 안에 뭔가 있어. 제가 안 따라올 리가 없거든. 이 방에 대해서 깊은 게 있는 것 같아. 아, 이걸로 짜맞히는 거구나. 아니었어? 아. 다한이래.
자하, 무할리님 어서오세요.
어서오세요. 이끌어내지 못했어. 뭔가 다른 뭔가가 있을 건데. 다른 뭔가가 있을 건데. 계획을 안 해.
Brave Toby, best nose in the British Empire.
그러면 제가 저기 리스트에서 알려드릴게요.
I hope you'll find my father soon.
I won't disturb Lord Marsh without a reason.
아까 거기서 뭐 단서를 또 찾아야 되는 건가?
Kate wouldn't like it if I entered her room without her knowledge. That's not the one I need.
울프잭이랑 반은 늑대고 반은 토끼란 뜻.
Here it is.
이거 아니야? 줄이고해졌다. 마시용의 집에서 발견된 이름들과 동일하다. 저 크게 한 적 없는데. 전원이 실종돼서 가능성도 있다. 있었죠. 나한테 기획하는 모습이나 정보 수집. 돌아올 수 없는 걸 알고 있었어. 다시 지금 잠입해야 된다고?
Holmes, what are you doing here? What are you planning?
A mission of my own. You must play the role of the conscientious doctor while I sneak inside Marsh's house. That's the only way of helping little Tom. This is not the best way to sneak in. The window is firmly shut. There's no space for this lockpick. There's no space for this lockpick.
How can I help you?
I came to visit Lord Marsh.
What for?
I would very much like to see Lord Marsh, if you please.
Mr. Holmes? What are you doing here?
따로 클릭하는 게 없었어.
How can I help you?
I came to visit Lord Marsh.
What for?
뭘 클릭?
I would very much like to see Lord Marsh, if you please.
Oh, you're so clumsy. Can you please not...
I have to visit Lord Marsh and offer him my services.
Fisher, please allow Dr. Watson to enter.
Good job, Watson. Lord Marsh is a keen hunter. Let's see how hard to crack this safe is.
Doctor, it appears that you were impatient to pay me another visit.
Indeed. Will you allow me to examine you? A second opinion, so that the great Lord Marsh does not become the late Lord Marsh.
Well, since you put it that way, very well.
Shall I retire to your office, Lord Marsh?
No, please, Doctor. I insist that you stay. I shall need your assistance.
Will you break anything else?
I'll try my best.
Mr. Holmes? What are you doing here?
아, 도망가야 되구나.
Will you break anything else?
I'll try my best.
November 7th. This means that the meeting is planned for today.
I'd suggest that your current weakness is perhaps more than a simple case of influenza, Lord Marsh.
Where might your companion be, Dr. Watson?
Oh, he's busy poking his nose into other people's business, I'm sure.
My lord, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I must remind you about your meeting.
Is it already time? My apologies, Dr. Watson, but we are expected elsewhere. Might we offer you a lift?
You are going out? I'm not sure that's wise in your condition.
I value your opinion, but misery never rests, and I am needed.
Well, do please take good care of yourself, Lord Marsh. I'll send you my diagnosis, Dr. Fisher.
Thank you, Dr. Watson. Farewell.
와우.
Watson, what are you doing at my table?
I just need to check one thing about Lord Marsh. My intuition tells me that Lord Marsh is hiding something about his disease. His cough, in addition to his fever and his usage of strong painkillers, leads me to believe that he is seriously ill. Let's study it more closely. Sputum with tiny drops of blood. I could take a sample and examine it under the microscope. Let us apply chemicals to color the sample. This chemical should be applied third.
대박 신기해.
Now, let's examine the colored sample under the microscope. A mycobacterium. It appears that Lord Marsh is seriously ill.
자하, 커맨더 로드님 어서 오세요.
Holmes, this is no longer a laughing matter. It is just as I feared. Lord Marsh is suffering from tuberculosis.
You don't say.
Yes, I do say. And Holmes, he will die if he is not transferred to a sanatorium as soon as possible.
And yet both Lord Marsh and Dr. Fisher are doing their best to hide this fact. How interesting.
But why?
Why indeed, Watson?
Oh, dear God. You don't think that Lord Marsh contracted tuberculosis while aiding the poor? How terrible. I have a commitment that I can't possibly cancel. Holmes, during my absence, please be extremely careful. This disease is highly contagious. And remember that we have women at home.
Thank you, Miss Alice. Until later.
I'll see you soon, Caitlin.
Where have you been?
Our neighbour lent me a book. She is so kind. I think she likes you.
I doubt that.
How is your investigation going?
It's going. Dracula?
Yes, it's forbidden reading at my boarding school. Did you know?
Well, well.
This is so romantic.
That's not. That's not. That's not the one I need. That's not. That's not the. That's not. That's not the one I need. That's not the one I. That's not the one I need. That's not the one I need. That's not the one I need. That's not the one I. That's not the one I need. 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 That's not the one. That's not the one I need. That's not the one I need. That's not the one. Here it is. Cranston's Oak is in Epping Forest. That's the place indicated on George Hurst's map. Let's try to find the place from the hand.
Here it is. Drat. I'll need to hurry if I want to find out what's going on at the forest.
Father, that boy Wiggins, does he come here very often?
He helps occasionally in some of my cases. Why do you ask?
I'd like to talk to him.
Talk to him?
Father, back at school there are only girls to talk to, and they are so boring. I'm sure Wiggins has lots of exciting stories to tell about his life in London. It would be so romantic.
Caitlin, you know that Wiggins hasn't had the most fortunate life.
That only makes him more interesting.
Oh, Kate.
I'll leave you alone now.
스토니가 마음을
Run, little rabbit, run! Find him! You won't get far!
Let's see how long you can stay alive! Is that your blood in the snow? Let's see how long you can stay alive.
아씨. 아, 왜 이래.
Run, little rabbit, run!
뭐야.
Is that your blood in the snow? Where is he?
He was poor. This man was killed recently. The body is still warm.
Find him, boys! Find him! I saw something. Where have you gone? like to call this the Swamp of Despair! I like to call this the Swamp of Despair! Ah!
He was killed by a shot to the My health is deteriorating. I need to dress my wound.
오. 다행히 탈출했다.
This will help. The Quartermain Club. This must be Lord Marsh's cabin. Someone's coming, I better hide. Someone's coming, I better hide.
Breathe, Lord Marsh. It's almost over.
Who are you?
George Hurst from the 1st Lovett Scouts, here to deliver justice.
An old soldier. How ironic. Did we refuse you on our special education program?
It's true, I was refused. An old wounded soldier is useless to you, but he can still be dangerous.
We hunted a lot in these woods, but I didn't expect to become the prey. I have lived a grand life without any limits set by others. I will die a happy man, so you won't see me begging you, festering wretch.
Prepare to meet your maker.
George, lower your rifle, please, for Tom's sake.
Holmes! My, an almost worthy opponent.
Tom? My Tom? If you've endangered my lad in any way, you will pay dearly.
I assure you that Tom is safe in London with a well-trusted friend. And now it's time to end this.
By all means.
George, listen to me. If you're seeking an apt punishment and vengeance, killing Marsh will give him exactly what he wants. He would die knowing that he had fulfilled his life through his absolute control of it. But if you allow Marsh to live and be arrested, he will suffer a punishment far greater than you or I could deliver. His ball and chain will be the debilitating tuberculosis. It will drag him painfully and slowly to his demise behind bars.
You're mad! You're both mad!
Let's go and find Tom.
Not just yet. See, Lord Marsh, you will die here. Although not by the gun. You'll die slowly.
Don't do this, George.
Detective, take a look here.
This is how you became sick, Lord Marsh. The beheading of your victims who were suffering from tuberculosis was what infected you. Poetic justice.
Holmes, you cannot fully understand why we helped so many and sacrificed a few. But don't let me die like this. Just kill me now.
Mr. Hurst, you've already served brutal justice to Lord Harrington and I hope Lord Collins and Dr. Fisher. Taking that into consideration, you may as well kill Lord Marsh and end the Quartermain Club completely. No loose ends.
정답. 예스. 여민님 어서 오세요. 나는 왜 여기 창이 안 떠?
Yes! Well done, Watson!
Holmes, you're playing bowls? Indoors?
Not just any old bowls, Watson. Lawn bowling.
Seriously? With your injury? Oh, no. Mrs. Hudson is going to murder you.
Well, that's it for now. Time to go. Would you care to join me?
You're incorrigible. And where are we going, Holmes?
I'm participating in the final stage of the annual tournament held by the London Archaeological Institute's bowling club. It's an official invitation. I'll just need to dress suitably and then we can leave.
Oh. 이제 이게 자동 저장인가?
My bag with lawn bowls for the upcoming tournament.